Hey, we're running a little bit late.
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Tacked Out Podcast. I got Tom here with us. Tom drove from Washington State to do some Cerakote training with us. So tell us about your time, Tom.
Oh, it's been great. I had a long ride down here, but once I got here, it's been
Came
great.
in on a motorcycle, yeah?
Came in on my motorcycle. Yeah, it was a heck of a ride.
I bet. Where are you out? So Tom had a pretty cool project. He kind of let us do, kind of had some freedom on this. He just said he kind of wanted some snow cam. And we kind of did a few different techniques on this. I don't know if you guys can really see it in the camera. See if maybe I can get it in Tom's. I can go closer this way.
That camera over there.
It's this way. There you go. But we did the woodland pattern, but underneath it, it's got just a bunch of different speckling for just some snow camo colors. It's got some green, some browns for some earth tones, and a little bit of black for speckling. And we just went back and highlighted some of the stencils, and then we did a little bit of sponge work over it. But
It turned out real good.
it did. I don't know if the camera really does this any justice as how it actually looks, but in person, this thing looks really, really good.
Concerned about second day in, but
I know. I could see the worry on your face, honestly, when we were doing it. You're like, man, my buddy's gonna make me sand this thing down.
yeah, it's looking pretty good though.
It turned out really nice.
I've had a good time since I've been here, other than the rain today.
Yeah, it poured there for a little while.
Yeah, it was going to be miserable. Hopefully not tomorrow. I hope it's not going to rain tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully you have a good ride back. But
Time here's been real good and extremely helpful for me.
yeah, it kind of cuts back all the learning curves. I mean, you're spraying great. Your base coat on this thing was phenomenal. I mean, it felt super, super smooth. It's just the technique that we did. When you do sponges, you have a little bit of you get that on there. And so, but other than that, I mean, this thing was sprayed phenomenally. I think your buddy's really gonna like it. And if he doesn't like it, just send it back to me, and I'll keep it.
No problem. We'll make a good trade. No, it's been good. Everybody's been real friendly and real
We try to have fun here.
knowledgeable. Everything. I mean, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Technique wise, and
It's a lot. And like we tell everybody, if you have questions about stuff after you leave, just call us. Be happy to help you back out.
I'll definitely come back when I'm in this area. I'll stop by and
Oh yeah, come and spend the day with us and let's spray some customer projects, or if you have something that you're kind of confused on, can't really figure it out, let us know.
I'm definitely gonna get your number. That's for darn sure. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's been real good.
Yeah. Oh man, I wonder if we can. Hey, Whit, if you can hear me, would you go back there and grab his Glock and bring it back? It just came out of the oven. It's sitting over by the. It's sitting over on the side of the booth, hanging up. It should be. The frame, I think, is actually on John's desk. Or actually, no. I never pulled the slide out of the oven. The slide's in the oven. The frame is on John's desk, so it's gonna be a little warm. Nope, on his workbench, back. All right, thanks.
Listening to you.
Yeah, he can. I don't know. Can you hear him through the headphones?
Uh-uh.
Okay, only I can hear him. But so yeah, he'll go grab that real quick. That turned out really cool. Laura did some quick laser work on that for you.
Yeah.
Did some army engraving, and that thing turned out sweet. It is officially the first pistol that has our new Table Rock crossover pattern on. It's only available on our website for Applicator Hangout. You have to be a member to join. I think it's $20 a month. I think
$19.95. I believe I saw.
So
it turned out real good.
Yeah.
I was nervous about that too.
And it looks really good. I like the colors that you picked. You know, you kind of went with the urban kind of camo look.
Yep.
The grays and put just that little bit of green in there. It's not just overly done. It looks really good.
I'm not used to seeing these kind of techniques in the way the pattern lays out, but once we peeled the stencils, it looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love training. I mean, because you know we get ideas in our heads that we can't just tell our customer like, hey, let us try this on your gun, But if somebody's coming to training, normally they kind of give us a little bit more freedom and we get to kind of step out the sort, like to do something different, It's not just, hey, I want digital camo, and I want it these 3 colors or whatever, anything, It doesn't matter. We kind of get to step out and try some new stuff. And I've actually got one technique back there that I haven't shown you yet, and we'll do that real quick before we leave because it's a real easy one. But we try to for sure let people feel like they're getting their money's worth. We don't want you to go home and feel like, man, I didn't learn anything when we came to training.
There's a lot of information in 3 days.
It really is. And you have your bind book. You can go back and you can refer to that.
Down the road, too, it could be a good 5-day might be better.
Honestly, it would be because I even feel like I have a hard time trying to get all the information that I've accumulated, to try to show somebody in 3 days. It's a lot, and yesterday we were here till what, 7 o'clock?
Yeah, it was about 7 when we
So, went. I mean, we'll flat wear you out.
Even if the guys came in and helped you spray projects, or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
At least get the technique down and learn the spray part of it and all that stuff. Because, I knew a little bit before I came.
Yeah.
I was probably all wrong. I mean, I learned a lot.
Well, yeah, you said that. I mean, I'm not trying to like dime you out or anything, but you had your nozzle sprayed different. You're spraying up. We spray up and down. You have your nozzle the wrong way, so you just got this thin line you're trying to coat with.
Yeah.
And it's just stupid little things, that we try to help push you along the way.
Sure.
It'll make you a better applicator, and you're not doing all this learning curve trying to figure out, am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong?
Yesterday and this afternoon, I felt a lot better than I did.
The
first day,
it was night and day from the first day. I'm not kidding. You really were.
Wreck.
Yeah. But no,
I don't usually get nervous like that. I'm like, oh, and I'm shaking, and I'm like, but no. Once I calmed down, it went real well, and I think it turned out amazing.
It did.
With you. Yeah.
And I mean, that's just
the more you look at it, the better it gets.
It grows on you. It really does. The pistol or the rifle? But can you see it in the camera?
You got to get the slide.
Yeah.
Pretty good with the
Did you pull the slide out of the oven? No. Would you?
Please.
Yeah, because it's got a bunch of laser work on it. We'd like to show everybody. He's proud of it. It might be, but just bring it in here with a pair of gloves.
I don't know if you can see it or not, but
thanks,
Whit. Through that camera there too.
Yeah, they can see you through that camera.
Nice. Yeah, it turned out great.
It really did. I'm serious. If your buddy doesn't like it, there's something wrong with him. I mean, that's a cool just.
He's old school.
It's
so
a snow cam.
He wanted snow camo, but when he sees it, he's gonna go.
Yeah, right, I got the coolest gun on the block now. Yeah.
And it's kind of like I say, it's gonna be just a fun toy around the fireplace type, fire pit type deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
What'd you say? I think calibered in
308.
Yeah.
So 7.5 inch and 308.
You gonna suppress it?
Maybe.
God, you'd almost have to.
It's gonna be obnoxious.
It's gonna be stupid obnoxious.
It'll be fun though.
It will be.
I think you'll be able to hit anything real good with it, but I'm gonna try and see what happens.
Just make your target bigger.
Yep. Well, you might be surprised.
Yeah.
It happens.
See that butt stock next to it. I don't know. I think that brown, does it almost, it still works with it, but I wish we'd have maybe put some brown up top to kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the only spot that sticks
it
out
is.
A little bit. Yeah.
We honestly forgot the butt stock as we were spraying. It was kind of like a last minute thing because at first we wasn't going to spray it, and then we decided, okay, let's do it.
Still pretty hot?
It just came out of the oven. It's 250 degrees. so it's a little warm. This is probably going to be hard to see, but he's got U.S. Army and your initials, I'm assuming, TTH.
Correct. Yep.
I didn't know what your middle name was, so I figured it was. And then he's got the U.S. Army. It's just matching sides, and he's got his star up here. Laura did all the laser work for him.
Might be kind of hard to see in the camera, but it looks real good.
It does.
Yeah.
Once it cools off and everything, I'll try not to burn myself because I mean this thing is hot. It's 250 degrees. No, I'll pull it over there here in a minute. Just let it cool off for a second. I forgot to pull it out of the oven when I pulled the rest of it. It's been a busy morning. I mean, we've just been busy as a store the last 2 days. Doorbell's been going constantly, and then we had training going on. So it's been a week for us.
You've been busy with us.
Yeah. I like it though. I mean, training is honestly, like I said, it's one of my favorite times of the month when we do our training. I'm a people person. I like to,
Sure.
I enjoy it.
Well, that's it. After I kind of calmed down and figured it was a comfortable environment, then
Yeah, I
it
mean,
all went good.
ain't nobody gonna say anything to make anybody get all butthurt and bent out of
come
shape
on
here.
now.
Okay, I might have cried once.
No, you
But-
shouldn't make me cry.
No, we like to have a good time. We really do. But yeah, I wish we wouldn't have forgot that and been able to do the battleship on it. It still works.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
You know what we could have done that would have been better is if we would have done the scope to match that brown, just because it would have still tied it all in. But the compensator and stuff has brown in it too.
Yeah.
And so I think that'll kind of help tie it all back together once you get all your other pieces on, because you've got more brown in your other pieces.
Well, if not, it'll be a good practice run for me at home. I've got another one at home. I can just strip that one down or whatever, or leave it and use it on another project some other day.
It still looks cool.
Yep.
And the rubber, it did a good job of not getting any overspray in there. Looks nice.
So on the rubber, it'll crack off.
Yeah, and it just always it feels sticky.
Okay.
Like it'll just constantly it doesn't do right. And it has so much oil inside of that rubber. I think that's what it is, all that oil in there. So
I've always been concerned about spraying them, but it looks good. Getting all the angles and everything.
Yeah.
But it looks great.
It does.
I can see where maybe one color would be pretty hard to do.
Well, I'll tell you, a single color is the hardest job you'll ever do.
Yeah.
It just is.
Make sure your overlaps are good and everything.
Yeah, because if you don't have that 50% and you go over a little bit, you end up with all these little lines that you can see. So
one thing I've done before is I've sprayed. Yeah, it looks great under the light. Put it in the oven. Come back out, take it out, and go, oh my gosh. Go outside and go, I have to strip the whole gun.
No, you don't have to do that. What you do in that situation.
It's already hard, though. I've been in there 2 hours.
Okay, so we always pull our projects out at tack and then
Take a
just
good
go
look at
over it. You leave your coating in the gun
Sure.
if it's a single color and just go over it again.
Well, that's a lot of things that I learned.
It's not
I
know.
Critical. I mean, I was cleaning my gun right away. I was just nervous about doing it, but a lot of the techniques and things done here just brought me back down to where I'm more comfortable doing it.
A lot of it is just slowing down. It's not, you got 45 minutes to I went up to an hour with coating in my gun, just kind of doing different stuff.
It's a lot more forgiving than I thought it was.
It's so much more forgiving than people think it is, People freak out sometimes when they come in and they'll have their projects already like sanded down and done, and they've watched all Cerakote's videos and they're wearing gloves every time they're touching stuff. We'll go over there and rip it right out of the bag and we're like just fingering it or whatever, and they're like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, it's okay, buddy.
That's what John was like I spent a lot of time doing that.
All your fingerprints are everywhere.
I'm not doing that again.
Yeah. But no. I mean, there's times to wear gloves and there's times that, like, I don't know, could you imagine stenciling that thing wearing gloves?
Oh.
Like, it would be a nightmare. It'd be sticking all over the place.
I know exactly what you're talking about. My wife and I did that Cryptex.
And did you wear gloves when you did it?
For a little bit.
Yeah.
And then just said the heck with it. And then,
as long as you keep your hands clean, you're good.
Well,
man.
and I told her, take your gloves off. I helped a little bit, but not a lot. But I said, when we're done, we'll just take a rag with a little bit of acetone, just wipe anything, fingerprints, if whatever. But for the most part, I told her, just go wash your hands. Should be good to go.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to, unless you're some like freaking nature that's like just producing oil at a like incredible rate, you're good.
Can't get the tape off.
That's it.
Forgot my glasses out in the shop.
I think that's going to look good too with like those solid black lines. I can find that end of that tape. right there. You heading back tomorrow?
I'm gonna give it a good try. Hopefully the rain lets up. If it's raining too hard, I'll just wait until checkout time and go as far as I can.
Right. How far do you plan on going at a time? Or are you gonna just try
I'd like to go to Kearney, Nebraska the first day.
Yeah.
It's about I think it was 540 or 560 miles.
Not just terrible.
It's a long day.
It is.
It's supposed to be hot. I mean, that's one of the worst things you get. You get to ride along, think you're hydrated. You stop and you're like, wow, maybe I'm not so hydrated, you know. But yeah, when it gets in that 100-degree range, 102, 103, it's hot.
I bet.
Them Harleys put out a lot of heat, so.
Oh, yeah.
On the freeway, it's not so bad because you're not sitting and idling and burning your legs off and things like that. But
Yep. Yeah, I can't believe you drove that far on a Harley.
oh, heck. We made our trip to Milwaukee, 4 years ago now. We're going to go again next year. Hit the East Coast. Hopefully swing by here. That'd be nice.
Man, you ought to. It'd be fun.
Spend a few days. We can throw on some burgers that we didn't get cooked today.
Yeah, that rain got us. Oh, yeah, that looks nice,
Yeah.
you know. That's all we did. We just taped that up so that, you know, you keep your paint line kind of
Now,
nice and straight.
if you wanted to put make the rest of the same, you just tape off the numbers. You can go ahead and spray
No,
this, or-
because this turns.
Yeah.
You have to sand that down. You don't want to get that sand in there because then it's going to be all gritty.
I got you.
So that's kind of one of those damned if you
So
do,
as long as
damned
you
if you
tape up to
don't.
where
it turns,
yeah,
you
you
got
could
that.
do the centerpiece if you wanted
You
to.
could.
Spend
You
the
have to
time.
have a tape line from there to
Sure.
there.
Yep.
You don't necessarily have to tape that off. You want to tape off.
The numbers, basically.
Yep.
Keep the sound out of it.
Yep. And you could even take hot glue and just beat it right there
Okay, yeah.
inside, and then do the same thing on this back and put a bead of hot glue, and then coat everything.
And that hot glue comes off pretty good?
Oh, it comes off easy.
Right on.
Once it kind of once it comes out of the oven, grab it and it'll stick to your finger and you just roll it off.
I got some older scopes at home. I'll give it a try, see how
Yeah.
it works. And
What do you think about that way we hung this? I mean, with that wood
I would
clamp.
have never thought of that.
And I mean, like I say, look how clean that is. And
One reason I haven't tried a scope is because I wasn't sure about
the
how
process.
to cover the lenses and this and that and what they can actually take for heat. But that's a vortex, and
Yeah.
and
You get the warranty if it messes up
yeah,
anyways.
send it back.
Exactly. That's why we carry them. I mean, they're good scopes.
So
They
when I
work
get home
good.
and we put it on here and I can't hit anything, I'm just going to blame it on the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Say, man, send it back to the factory.
Got to blame it on something. I think it'll look pretty good.
I think it will
It's a
too.
lot of scope for sure.
That's what I was thinking. The same. The scope's as long as the gun,
Well, we were going to bring a red dot, but it was a cheap knockoff junker,
right?
and there's a big halo in it.
Okay.
I said, you're not going to be happy with that red dot at all.
No.
I said, I don't even want to spend time doing it, you know?
Right.
But we'll take this instead. And it's not an expensive.
I think it looks cool on there
Yeah.
though. I mean, it's like you said, it's a novelty gun.
Exactly.
you know,
it's more of a
It's just gonna
conversation
yeah,
piece than
let's
anything. But
pull it out and see how much fun we can have with it.
so here, shoot this, have fun.
Yeah. Go
Well,
ring your eardrums for a
First time you
second.
pull the trigger, your shoulder's going to hurt. Your ears are going to, they're going to hurt for days. But it'll be fun. It was just a fun project to bring down, and
It was.
I didn't really have anything else stripped down or parts to
Yeah.
bring. And I thought, well, I got all this together, so give it a try, see what happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot of little tricks and stuff I wouldn't have thought of plugging the holes with the
Yeah.
plug. Just
Yeah.
because
Just
I've
to
done them
keep-
before and I've sanded them out, and it's like, oh my gosh,
Absolutely.
a little bit of oil.
Put
in
that
there.
base coat on there and plug those up. And if you're doing stencils like we did that one, if you can get a stencil over that little hole,
Yeah.
then you can take that plug out. But
That's
if
little
you,
things like that it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, that makes sense. Nice little stencil over it, looks good.
yeah,
Yep.
and it'll all kind of flow together. But yeah, I'm excited. We'll get this thing put together before you leave, and we'll go back there. Got that little picture area.
Oh yeah, take
We'll
some
get good
of it.
pictures of it. That way you can start your portfolio.
Sure.
And we'll get your Glock and kind of mock it up a little bit. But
Yep.
yeah, no, it's a lot for 3 days. It really is. But I feel like it puts you that much further, kind
Sure.
of ready. You're probably months ahead of what you would be
Oh,
at
absolutely.
home.
And unsure of myself of just as far as, you can read all day long.
Yeah.
Or look on Facebook or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
And of course, there's 10 billion stories out there, and
Mhm.
which is the correct way. Because, like you say, there's guys doing it in their garage or in the
Yeah.
backyard under a tree, and it's like, okay, yeah, it's doable, but how good is it? So,
There's a guy on YouTube. He's got more views for a Cerakote video than anybody else, and it's a younger kid. He's outside in his backyard just hanging this stuff. I don't even know what it's like, some kind of wire rack or whatever. You could see the wind and dust and everything blowing, and he's just going to town at this stuff. And that thing got more views than any other Cerakote video out there. But it was one of the first videos that anybody's ever done. Right. So when you type in Cerakote, that thing just pops up, and you're just like, holy cow.
I've probably seen it.
Yeah. We commented under it, and we're just like, the only thing we can say is to do absolutely nothing that you've seen in this video. Everything about it was terrible. It was just so bad.
No, I'm not good enough to say things like that, but I know I'm smart enough to steer away from things of that nature. And
I feel confident that you could go back and replicate something like this.
Think so?
I really do. I mean,
I've got a few carcasses, like I say. I'll figure it out.
Oh yeah.
If not, I'll use a lot of acetone.
It's not rocket science. It's not, you know. And the more you
I don't think there's a wrong way.
There's not. It's you know, I feel like, you know, you're an artist at this point once you get into this, and everybody kind of finds things that, you know, that they like, that, you know, they kind of put their own twist on stuff. Yeah. It doesn't mean you're wrong. Long as the finish doesn't fail, it's right. It's just
it's not a production deal either where everything's got to be perfect. Like you're saying, it's a one-off. If there's a little this, a little that, you make a mistake, or nobody's going to know.
Little black hides everything.
Yeah. Well, when we started speckling the black on there, you know, the white, it just takes that white, dims it down. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah. There's all kinds of little
I was nervous at first. I'm like,
oh, I know. I could see it, and you kept mentioning like, oh, my buddy. I was like, dude, it'll be and that's why we tell everybody, no matter how bad you think that gun's going to look halfway through the project, never stop and sand it down, because once you start pulling those stencils off and you're like, this is what I was working for the whole time. This is what I had envisioned. And if it's not,
the little things, the sponging, the outlining with the black, I mean, it just changes the whole.
It did
the whole look of the gun. So
yeah, I think it looks great. I'm very pleased with it.
Not too bad. I did about 98% of the work, man. Everybody needs a little help once in a while.
Oh yeah,
but no, it went good.
It did.
I was nervous, like I say, even on that Glock. I mean, because the colors are a little fruity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're light. I wanted to go the light. I wanted the blues and grays, but I was like, oh, and then we threw the green in, and that made a big difference.
The green helped it, you know, and that was John's idea at the end, that sniper green.
Yep. Whose idea?
John.
Oh. Yeah.
That's not too hot anymore. Here, this camera is you're closer to that side. So hold it up in front of that camera right there. That slide's still a little bit warm. Yep. So hold it back towards me a little bit. Is that better, Whit? There you go. So that's the very first pistol that we've done in our Table Rock crossover. So
we're gonna throw
some clear coat over that. Yeah, all of that's just gonna pop out because it's kind of flat right now. But once you put that clear on there, it's all gonna kind of pop out really nice.
Oh, I'm happy with it. Looks great.
It does.
Being my personal one, I won't ever do anything with it.
Yeah,
I'll put it away and go, Andrew's fault. Gotta blame it on somebody, right?
Oh yeah. No, I like it.
You look at somebody's expression and go, well, I didn't do that, Andrew did. It'll be fine. No.
There's we're gonna start doing more versions of this Table Rock, because this is the only pattern that we have that we kind of have like our I don't even know what you call it. Like it's our license pattern or whatever, you know. So what we're gonna do, we've got a few more ideas already for how we want to do it, but we're just gonna kind of wait because we just put this one out. It hadn't even been out for 3 months, so we'll start releasing those. I still have to do a how-to video on this. We were supposed to do it on this one, and our camera just wasn't really cooperating with us for some reason. Whitmore.
We had some issues.
But anyways, so we'll get a video of that and kind of how we do it. You know, it's not a hard pattern at all. No. It's just there's a lot of little pieces. That's it. It's just time consuming.
Well, when you start putting them on there too, you're like, put more on. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like,
but it makes sense now though, because I mean,
absolutely.
You know, you have all that negative space. All you're doing is giving that detail.
Yep.
You know, and
if you don't put it all in there, you're gonna have big spots of
absolutely
one color or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't remember how many layers we took off, but we didn't take it all the way down to the metal.
Yeah, it's got that bright nickel because that was our base coat with that bright nickel, and so that's what that
I think the star's kind of green.
The star, yeah.
Yep.
It looks like it might have went down a little further into some metal, but once you clear coat it, it ain't gonna hurt it anyways.
So in theory, I could always just blow it all off and do it again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because nothing went into the metal. All that'll cover back up if you ever coated it.
That laser's amazing. I mean,
oh yeah.
Anybody ever needs any work, send it here because it's great. I mean, everything that I've seen come out of here is just amazing.
Yep. The other guy that came to training,
Rich.
Yeah, Rich. I'm terrible with names. I apologize.
That's not true. He's been calling me all sorts of names all day long. He's just being nice right now.
But yeah, he did some cool projects as well. He didn't even bring any projects with him. We have a bunch of 80% chassis and stuff that we work on.
You guys were busy over there.
We were.
Yeah.
He got 3 guns done.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I barely made one. I'm not even done yet.
You got 2 done.
Almost.
Well, all you got to do is spray clear coat. You're done.
Every time I looked over, you guys were doing something different. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Everybody learns at their own speed.
Yeah. Well, he had help, so I'm just kidding. No, I learned a lot. I mean, there's a few things. Obviously, I got your number.
Oh yeah.
Definitely be calling and going, "Ooh, I don't quite get it," but
no, it's fine. We love helping people out. We do. I mean, we've been lucky and blessed in this industry. We want everybody to be successful.
Sure.
So I mean, it only takes a few people to the way we look at it. People ask us all the time, why are you training your competition? People say it, but if somebody's out there doing it wrong, then that gives the industry a bad name. But there's billions and billions of guns out here,
and people are going to remember that bad project.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be terrible,
and they're going to pull that gun out and show all their buddies and be like, "Look at this Cerakote. It ain't worth the crap." And they're not going to be like, "Well, it was this applicator." They're just going to think the Cerakote sucks in general if that company says that they did it right and everything.
There's a lot of people doing whatever hydro dipping and all that other stuff, and my understanding is it's not as durable.
It's not.
So if you do a good job, why wouldn't you do Cerakote in the first place?
Now, if somebody comes to you and they say, "Hey, I want real tree camo,"
forget it.
Go hydro dip it. It's not going to be that durable, but I mean, you cannot put it's just not going to work. Real tree camo for Cerakote. If somebody can do it, like I'd love to see it. I really would, because I mean, I'm not saying that somebody can't.
Just too
it would
detailed?
It is. It would be a lot of airbrushing, and you'd have to be extremely good. Like, I want to go learn how to do like portraits. I want to go take some portrait classes.
Sure.
Where I can start doing some airbrush portraits on the sides. I think that'd be really cool. Because especially those like AR-10s, you got that nice flat surface. It'd be really cool to like be able to just sit there.
And that's one thing I like about these. They got a big platform right here to do, especially for laser or whatever.
Yeah,
stenciling.
absolutely.
Yep. One thing I do like about them.
And one other thing, we'll do your fire and safe and all that when we go back there. Do the color fill. Okay. Yeah. Anything that we can color fill on any of this, we'll hit the color fill on.
I think it'd look real good. It'll
pop it out
a little bit. Bring your eye away from other things.
Do a nice bright color.
You bet.
That it completely offset. Like even like red would look really good.
Yep.
Just because it just complete opposite. Really catch your eye. Yep.
Nope, it'll look good.
It will. But it's been a fun class. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. Is there any questions or anything, Whit? Or even anybody watching? Well, how's it going, everybody, if you're watching? But all right, well.
I wasn't going to come in here, but they talked me into it.
I did. I was like, man, I don't really have anything. I was like, this week's been too busy. I haven't planned anything. So I need you to come in here and do this.
He says you're the only one left. You got to come in and help me out.
You got to help me, buddy. But no, I'm glad you came in here, And so do you have a name for your business?
I don't yet.
No. Have you filed for your LLC?
Yes.
You have?
They're doing that. They've done that since I came down here.
Okay. So when you file for your LLC, don't you have to have your business name? Or no?
I don't know what I'm telling you.
Oh, your wife did it?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I got you. So
I'm not sure what they come up with. It is what it is.
Hey, yeah, it'll work.
I go by all sorts of names, so it doesn't matter to me. But, we're working on that. Then working on getting the FFL done and all that good stuff. And
we good. Do you plan on going to the factory?
To Cerakote?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It's pretty close to you.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me was just the time frame.
Oh, yeah. They're like, what, probably 2 years out now?
Last time I heard, they sent me an email and said, you can get on the list right now. It's probably 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
I mean, it was over a year.
Yeah.
And they said, at first it was, we're not taking anybody.
Right.
Brick and mortar only, blah, blah, blah. And it kind of discouraged me. And then I saw your guys' advertisement on, I don't remember where I found it, but probably on
YouTube or something maybe.
Yeah, I think it might have been YouTube. But I thought, and I did a little research, and I said, those guys look like they might know what they're doing. Maybe give them a try and see what happens. So, no, I'm really happy that I came down here. I mean, this gave me a lot of information that I can get going.
Absolutely.
Get into the other, later down the road, whether it's a year or whatever. But, there's going to be a lot of things. Obviously, I can learn the discounts and all that stuff from Cerakote.
And if you book your class now, those discounts start the minute you pay your down payment.
Yeah, that's what John was saying.
Your down payment, yeah.
And by the time I go to class, I probably already paid for my...
Yeah, and the free coatings that you'll get, because every time you get a free color, you get a free color every time they come out with a new one.
Yep.
So...
No, it'll definitely be beneficial. And like you say, it's only 300 miles from my house.
Yeah, it's not very far.
It's a day down, a day back. Not
Absolutely.
4 days down, 4 days.
Yep.
No.
And they have a few other places you can go.
I think South Carolina.
Yeah, I can't remember all the other. I think there's like 2 or 3 of them now.
Yeah, I think there's 3, but it's the NIC's right there out of.
Yeah, I'd rather go to the factory if I was going to go somewhere.
Absolutely.
just to go see the factory. It'd be kind of cool, because the other ones is just other shops, kind of like we are.
Sure.
But we don't really want to do the whole have to be the Cerakote certified, because then we have to do it the way they want us to teach it.
Sure.
And then we feel like we lose kind of some of the stuff that we get to show you guys if we have to do it their way, because you only get the 3 days. And the way that they set it up at the factory, when it comes, they say, training's from 7 to 4. At 4 o'clock, they just pull the doors and they're like, see you later,
So what do you learn down there? I mean, you haven't been, right?
No, I didn't go, but I've talked to John about it. It's more coding based, It's not really how do you run a shop, You don't really ask questions about your FFL or nothing like that. It's more of it's just strictly around all their coding, all the different series too. So if you're just mainly getting in this for guns, you're still gonna have to stop and block out a couple hours to go spray some C series or even their piston coat or what, they go through all of it, their glacier, everyththing. And it might not even be something that you're interested in, but you're still going to go spray it because that's what you paid for in your package.
I'm not looking for just guns. I mean, there's a broad market out there.
Absolutely. That's what I tell everybody.
And if everybody's not bringing guns, mate, they're bringing something else.
Yeah. I mean, we do keyboards. Yeah. We do doorknobs, light fixtures.
Whether it be a cup or
it doesn't matter.
A table leg, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely, it all pays the same.
Yep.
It doesn't matter.
Money. You got to make money somehow.
Absolutely. So. I mean, if anything was to happen tomorrow with anything like gun related, you got to have something to fall back on, because I mean, you've got a lot of money invested in this, and if you can make it work in other ways, I tell people all the time, I'm like, go to these people that are building these high dollar houses and say, hey, look, let me custom make you some faucets. Let me
door handles,
dude,
cupboard handles.
Absolutely. I mean, you start doing some rub bronze and all that on there. I mean, it'll look good.
That's what I liked out there today. That project you guys were working on. That what you called it? Was it the distressed one? But
yeah,
the blue and the
that's going to be our. That's how we do our battleware bronze or distressed bronze, whatever it is.
It's amazing. When you first see the colors, you're like, oh wow, you can do that.
Yeah.
And then once you start doing it, it's like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then I'll do one more color on top of what he had. He's going to do the midnight bronze, which is darker than the burnt bronze. Yep. And so it kind of gives it that 2 tones of brown, plus it just darkens the whole thing up. And then just speckle it for some pitting. You're done.
Bronze looks great. I've used some Vortex bronze before, and I really like that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm curious to see that new one they're coming out.
The smoke bronze?
The smoke bronze.
Yeah, we missed our free bottle by a week or something like that. Got to order some.
Yeah. But I'm real curious to see what that's going to be.
Yeah, I think it's darker than the midnight. I think
it's going to be real dark. Then.
Yeah, I think it'll be a nice looking color. I like all the bronzes. And it's popular for us.
Yeah,
people love it around here.
I've got a couple guys that wanted it done in the midnight bronze or the.
Yep.
What's the other one?
Burnt bronze. There's also a Vortex bronze.
Well, I use the Vortex. It's a little bit different than what this guy wanted, but anyway, I was nervous to spray it.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know, man.
Those metallic colors can be a bear, and if you're not used to them.
I sprayed a couple just projects that I was working on. I'm like, I
have any texture to it.
Yes, that was the problem. Is you had a little bit of a texture to it.
Yeah,
and you guys explained that to me today.
That's just going a little light.
Yep.
And that's a lot of times, people say that. We see it on the internet all the time. They're like, oh, those metallic colors, they all have a little grit feel to it. Well, it doesn't if it's applied correctly,
I learned that.
Yeah.
I learned that, yeah. I wasn't, you live and learn, but I didn't figure I was spraying. I figured I was spraying too much.
Yeah.
And then I backed off, and now I'm not spraying enough. And
yep.
it's amazing when you buy the right gun or get the right gun and set up right,
Mhm.
what you can accomplish.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Those Iwatas are worth everything.
I start spraying and shaking and like, oh, I don't know.
Mhm.
Then mess up and go, oh my gosh. I need to clean up and the getting ready again is like, oh my, not again. So
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like that on an everyday,
yeah.
'cause
I learned a lot here too that I was just being a little bit anal on what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I didn't really need to, much as I was doing, to try to clean something up or fix something or whatever. And different process of just doing that. I mean, like cleaning the gun, for crying out loud. I was spending more time cleaning my gun than I was painting. So,
Right.
I mean, a lot of different things.
Yeah, I knew a guy that he came to training, and every day at the end of the day, he'd break everything down all the way to, like, every nut, bolt, like, everything. He would soak it in gun wash, wait 45 minutes, pull it out, and then clean it all out again, and I was like, "Dude," I was like, I get it, you want your stuff clean. I'm like, "But if you just take your Q-tip and get inside of there and clean
Yeah.
it." Like, the outside of my gun, I'm not gonna lie, it looks bad, but the inside of my gun, it's clean.
Yeah, but you do a lot of spraying too.
Yeah.
I mean, put some paint through that thing.
We do. And accidents happen,
Oh, yeah.
but it's all the way down to little tips as far as, why we have, like, the little paper inside of our booth. 'Cause
Sure.
you're gonna spill
absolutely.
stuff everywhere.
Oh,
I mean,
I've got
it's
it. I'm
guaranteed.
wearing it.
Oh, yeah, it gets everywhere. So you just pull that stuff up and, you keep your area clean.
When anybody doesn't think there's a process to it,
There is.
I mean, and people wonder why
It costs.
the cost, you know, and it's like there's a lot of time involved.
There is.
I mean,
You know?
I'm not going to lie to you. The 3 days I've been here, I got my butt wore out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm used to doing work, but not, the standing, the spraying, the
Yep.
this and that. There's a lot involved in it. So
It is. And
now seeing this and the way it's done and stuff, I appreciate the price tag.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
the guys that are doing it or whatever, it's a lot of time. They got to
Yeah.
make money too.
Yep. But it's a lot of fun doing it. I've never quite enjoyed a job as much as, like, doing stuff like this.
Sure.
'Cause you just kind of get in there and just
Zone out and do your thing.
do your own thing. It's fun, and you get to come up with new stuff. I find stuff all the time. I'll do it on accident a lot, and I'm like, oh man, I know I messed that up, but I'm gonna try another project, and I'm gonna purposely do that in a way that it might look
Oh,
good.
there's so many things that I've seen out here in the showroom floor and all that stuff. It's like, how do you do that?
Oh yeah,
I mean, you start out with a piece of raw aluminum or steel or whatever, and
yeah,
it just looks amazing when you're done with it.
yeah. I mean, and the thing that people they got to remember is all this stuff done by hand. Especially like on something like this, you couldn't duplicate that. I don't care how good you are, you're not duplicating that. Not 100%. You might get close, but I mean, it's
There's
just
a lot of pieces on there.
it is, and it's the way you fade your colors. You're never gonna get those same fades and all that. It's just that's what's neat about it.
I think it's individual too. You spray different than I do. John
Yeah.
sprays different.
Absolutely,
Rich,
everybody kind of has their own. You'll find that, and that's what I like. And I'm hoping to get to the point, where people are like, I want to go here just because that's Andrew, and I want to get a gun done by him. So I mean, it's not that like I'm trying to make $1 million off of it or whatever. I think that it'd just be kind of cool, be.
I got to be careful what I say because his head will swell up, but he's pretty good at what he does. I mean, I would definitely recommend Branson for Cerakote needs for sure.
Hey, we appreciate it.
Like I say, his Trump hat might blow off his head if I'm not. Oh, not Trump. Sorry, Brandon. Might blow off his head, but I know he's pretty good at what he does.
We
Anybody decides to come to training, I mean, it's enjoyable. They make it fun. Everything's good.
try to feed you.
Yeah.
We
can get him to cook hamburgers, but he wouldn't do it in the rain. So
now, next time we're just gonna get him a rain suit.
Yeah.
Hang him out back. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I mean, unless we have any questions online that anybody wants to ask or anything, we're probably gonna get out of here and go finish up in the back. Still got a few more things we gotta do. We gotta spray some micro slick real fast, and then we can do your clear coat.
Okay.
This we still gotta bake out. So do you want clear coat on that before we ship it?
we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Maybe. Does it make the coating more durable, or is it gonna?
Yeah, it's another layer on there.
it?
So I mean, you get another protective layer. and it's also going to make some of those like dots that are on there, like the colored ones, like your greens and
A little brighter.
Yeah, it's going to pop them out more, so it'll be a little bit more noticeable.
I don't see why we shouldn't. I mean,
I think it would look
it
good.
would give me an idea of what it does.
Absolutely.
And then
it'll turn the kind of like and I'm not talking about like putting like high gloss on it, just like your matte finish. And that's just like your factory sheen that you get on your projects when you buy them. So I think it'd look good. I would clear coat it personally if it was mine. I would do it.
We'll give it a try, and that way when I get home, I know what it looks like and how it feels.
Yeah.
You can show somebody, hey, this is what it's going to look like with a clear coat. You want clear coat or not? But
yep. And the clear coat is something, it's its own little
demon.
It really is. I had the hardest time with clear coat when I first started. I was terrible at it. I really was. I'd do this whole project and then be like, you want clear coat on it? Like hoping that they'd fucking say no, because I'd end up having to redo that project.
Really?
Oh yeah, because it just
trying to get it to flow right or evenly.
It just runs very easily. Not really runs, but if you get it too heavy, it'll sag, and then it'll get on the bottom. You'll get like these little
ripples in it.
Yeah. It was terrible.
I got a couple of those yesterday, but we fixed them.
Oh yeah, but with that clear coat, you can't hide it.
Nope.
Once it's on there, it is on there. So
once you do the clear coat, you're dead. You're done.
Yep.
I mean, there's no wiping it or washing it or cleaning it. Nothing.
Once you mess it up, it's got to sit and dry out and then sand it off if you don't like it.
Some projects that aren't worth a shit.
Practice on some stuff that you don't really care about.
Okay.
But you need to practice on stuff that has, like practice on pick rails and all that kind of stuff, because those pick rails are a little different because they got all those little valleys, and that's where it likes to sag in there.
Sure.
So if you get too heavy in there, it just tries to pull out and you get little puddles.
It's just dripping off it.
Not really drip. I mean,
I know what you're saying though.
Yeah.
It's like a Verathane.
Yeah.
You can see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's just the clear coat. You spray it like just 1 or 2 good passes, but you're staying back. Where we told you, you want up 4 inches. With clear coat, you're back here, and you're just creating this big cloud and trying to let it fall on it.
So you don't get a dry spray or anything from it, obviously.
No. It's a really smooth finish. It really is. But it goes from that nice wet spot to like in your head, you're like, oh, one more pass, and that one last pass. No, you don't do it, because that one pass is where it just goes to hell. And it took me forever to learn it. I don't know why, but every time I'd be like, oh yeah, one more pass, and I was like,
I've done that before.
Damn.
It's like the paint, and you're like, do it, and then you do it, and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Nope. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I've been that way even with the paint. Sometimes you're like, it looks a little dry, and the project too. Like when you turn it, or whatever, it dries a little bit, it fades a little bit.
It does, especially the metallic colors are the worst. Like that burnt bronze. What I tell people is, you pick a spot. Like on cups, it's the worst if you don't have anything on it.
Yeah.
Like so, if you do have a cup, and say like your name is over there, start, either to the left or the right of your name, and start going around it so that and make sure you're doing full passes all the way, and that's all good and wet.
Yeah.
Go to the next spot. Because when you get back to that, that's dry. It looks dry.
Even like that one I sprayed today, the silver or whatever it was.
Yeah, it does the same thing.
Yeah, by the time you get there, it's a little bit dry, and you're like,
is that dry spray?
Did I hit it or not?
Yeah. And so it's one of those, I call it chasing the dragon, because, I mean, you can go around it and go around it. Next thing you know, you got like 5 mils on that thing. And
I could see where you could get way too much real fast. And it's
can.
Oh, geez. But this here was pretty forgiving. I mean, like I say, I like it. It turned out good.
Oh, yeah.
At first, I'm like, you going to do what?
Yeah.
Sponge what? Do what with a sponge?
Oh, yeah. There's all kinds of really cool things you can do. And that's what I tell people, don't just limit the self to sponges. Try other stuff, because everything that you do is going to give different textures. It's going to give different looks, Try to spray some burlap sack that has all those little cutouts. Don't go real heavy on it and like absolutely soak it, because then you'll kind of lose all that. Just kind of roll it on there, and it gives you like some little like square patterns or whatever,
Oh,
there's all kinds of really cool stuff you can do.
Like I say, I went to the room last night and I was laying there thinking, what could I do? And I'm like, I don't know. There's all sorts of things going through your head.
Oh,
thinking,
yeah.
I'll give it a try. I mean,
get
a piece of iron or something and spray it and see how, what it looks like. And
yeah, I one of the most things that I did in training one time for a group is we went to Walmart. We bought a pair of like fishnet stockings.
Yeah.
And we wrapped.
And you wore them for them?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Got my high heels on, strutting it. But no, wrapped it around a handguard and sprayed it, and it gives you kind of like your snakeskin texture, sort of, because it just kind of has like that whole netting look to it. And you can use
I
that.
like the idea of going to the whatever flea markets or,
Yeah. I want to do a
yard
class.
sales.
I want to do a class kind of like, and maybe I can do that on my 5-day class. That'd be cool. Come in and one day we're just gonna go out, $30 limit, go
That'd
out,
be cool.
find
Yeah.
the stuff to spray,
Yeah.
or maybe we should just do like a class reunion, I guess,
There you
or
go.
something, and just bring people back and say, look, you get $30 limit. I need you to go out, find something you can spray from to
That'd
make
be a
you
good
a
time to
camo.
get together and everybody can share what
Absolutely,
they've learned or whatever.
and everybody share their knowledge, and then it'd be cool to see what everybody comes up with, because I mean, doing that is making you get outside of your comfort zone. It's making you try to go. It makes you a better person. I might even do that for myself. Give myself a $30 limit and just see what I can come up with, because it's going to be something completely different than we have out here.
Well, it's like the idea with the clamp for the
and that was somebody came to training.
Right.
So we get stuff out of training all the time. That's why I tell you, I love training, because it makes us more efficient. Exactly.
Yeah.
3 brains are better than 1.
Sometimes it's hard for me to get out of the box.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have never thought. I would never thought. Just the way we did it. You know what I mean? I just, in this, I would have never known. I'd have probably ruined the optic. But
it's Vortex. But no, and the way that by putting that on there, some people will tape that glass off and sand all this off, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I just think that when you're looking through your optics, you want that black in there to kind of, you don't want no glares, and by that black being in there, I think that it's
like
just
Rich was saying, it's that way for a reason.
Exactly.
They made it a dull color so it doesn't reflect light back into your eye.
That's what I think. I just feel like it'd be a better optic, and it goes with the gun. There's black in the gun. You got the black there. It's not gonna hurt it at all. I don't think anybody would ever complain, because
if they do, I'll send it back to you.
Yeah.
Put it on the wall out here.
Absolutely.
No,
I'm definitely gonna have to do one like that, because we've never done anything like that, and just have it for a display.
It turned out good, and the thing of it is we were like, okay, we're just gonna do this, and then as you go, it would look good with some of that on there.
Yeah.
And then it's like, then you're thinking, oh my gosh, did we do too much? But
Yeah.
then when you start pulling stencils, it looks amazing.
Yep. That's what I really like about it. It's fun, Those stencils, this one's not terrible. Like that one that Rich did, that pistol.
Yeah.
That dude used like 2 full sheets of those multicam.
Yeah, it was yellow.
It took forever to pull all those
I never even seen the end project on that. I'll have to take a look.
I'll show it to you. It turned out good.
Good.
It did. It turned out nice. All the projects that we done this week, I feel like turned out really good.
Yeah, you get to thinking, you're like, oh, really? Don't want to put that many on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, you can see what it ended. Not this one, but on here.
This thing was loaded as well.
Yeah.
It was yellow.
I thought, man, that thing is going to be ugly.
Yeah, well, because you see that yellow against all that, and you don't understand,
And you got the different layers, the different colors,
Yeah.
the depth of it.
Yeah, it turns out fun.
I think it'll be really good once we get the clear on.
It will. It's gonna make this a completely different gun. It will. Even your lettering will pop out. You'll see that a little bit more, because it kind of almost hides in certain light with that the gray or the nickel.
Yeah.
In certain spots.
That's why I had her burn it a couple more times. It's almost a gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you get the clear on there, it might turn into more of a silver. But
another cool thing you can do, like on your tumblers, since it's stainless, don't sand it down, don't tape it off or nothing. Make sure you wear gloves and wipe everything down with acetone. Get you a torch and start spinning that thing. You have to literally spin it. Don't sit there and go like this in one spot. Just go up and down and spin that.
You blew it up a little bit.
What up?
So it's stainless, or what are you doing to it?
Yeah. It goes from like blue to gold to purple, and then back to, I forget all the deals, but you can do that and then stencil it. But if you quench it in water, it loses its color, so don't do that.
You just let it cool and then stencil it?
Yeah, let it naturally cool, and then stencil on it, and then go and put your sand blaster, sand all that off, and then coat it.
That'd be pretty cool, because it doesn't change back any colors once you put it in the oven or anything like that. Or,
it holds it. As long as you don't dip it in water to cool it off, it'll keep its color.
Right on.
I tried thinking, one day I was dunking it in water and going back to town trying to get different shades and all that. But I was rushing it, trying to do it real fast. And at the time, it was all the color I wanted. By the time I pulled my stencils off, it all went back to just polished
real good
stainless.
With all that blue and the gold and all that stuff in there.
Yeah, I did one for my wife that way. I did it in that. Yeah, it was gold, purple, and I think white. or something.
Honestly, I forgot how many colors we ended up using.
It was quite a bit. I think there's like 7 or 8.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I lost track after about 5. I
Yeah,
just
I
asked
think
which color's next, and
Yeah, it's 7 or 8, and I think there's 5.
I think there's 5 on that
this.
one there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think so, but once you
No.
start looking and
Oh,
picking
yeah.
pieces, it's like, okay, there's green, there's gold, there's
Yeah,
silver.
there's 2 different shades of green,
Yep.
and there's a couple different shades of gray.
White, on this here, white.
White, green. Oh, hold on, I got it. It's a battleship gray, and then there was that multicam dark gray, multicam bright green. I forget the name of that brown we used, and then it was blue, white, and black. So 8 colors.
And that green, the speckled one we used.
Yeah, the multicam bright green.
Multicam bright green. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so until you just really start looking. You're like,
yeah, and that's what's cool about it, because I mean, from here, you can tell that there's like a distortion in that, but you can't see the colors on it. You get on it, you're like, oh man, it's brown, it's green, it's like this darker gray. It's one of those projects that you don't notice everything until you get right up on it.
Well, at first when you guys said, hey, we'll do some spatter on there, and I'm like,
you're gonna do what to my gun?
Spatter what? But it just breaks it up. It looks really good when
it does. It's not like just a solid piece,
Andrew's out there flinging paint.
Oh, I was getting it everywhere. I was working on my own project at that point, but yeah, I kind of made a mess with it.
No,
I'll bring that in next week. I did a controller for a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, it turned out
did
good.
like a little galaxy theme or something on it. So it was fun. But
pretty endless what you can do.
It is, you just got to keep kind of thinking of new stuff to do. And that's why I was saying, like with that, I think it'd be a fun deal to do that $30 limit.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, that could be even a challenge if, we can just do online,
Sure.
Tell everybody, you get a $30 limit, go find something, we can kind of put all the guns online and declare a winner somehow, or whatever. And then I don't know what the prize could be or whatever. We could figure something out.
You can make him a tumbler or something.
Yeah. Do a dick cut.
You're a nice guy.
Yeah, get a pat on the back.
Attaboy.
Well, all right, guys. I think we're going to call it a day. We're going to get back here. Oh, we got one question real quick. What we got? So we got 3 different classes that we do. Who am I addressing? What's the name? Brandon. All right. So, Brandon Lean, this is for you. If we have an advanced class, if you're going to go to the advanced class, we just ask that you've been spraying for like 6 months or so, or at least been out to the factory or been to some kind of training itself, and just comfortable with the gun. We're not really going to focus on base coats or anything like that in the advanced class. It's just going to be more of like how to do more advanced stenciling, maybe like a snakeskin gun, or you're working on digital, or just more of your more techniques, We're not really going to focus on the basics for that. We have the 3-day class, which that's what you did.
Yeah, correct.
And the 3-day class kind of covers a wide variety of everything, We don't do like the snakeskin guns or something like that here, because it would still take us, you would get one project done, and we're trying to explain, all the ins and outs of Cerakote in this class. So that's not really a project that we'd want to spend all of our time on doing that. I mean, it's cool, and it'd be a cool project to take back home, but you're only learning how to do one thing,
These 2 projects here were 3 days full.
Oh, I know.
I mean,
they are. What I mean, the first day that we get to the 3-day class, we kind of walk through the. We don't really start spraying until about 11:30ish or so.
Yeah.
But and that's just so we show you all the equipment we have. Why did we buy that equipment? Why is it good to kind of upgrade in certain areas? And it just makes you more efficient.
It's really good knowledge.
It is
the oven, the blaster, everything. Compressors, you name it.
Look,
and just gear to clean with and all that other stuff.
Yep.
It helped me a lot. For sure.
And so that's covered with the 3-day class. That's not in the 2-day class. The 2-day class is just more of a we kind of already expect what you're doing, and then we have one more class, the beginners class, and that's just for somebody that maybe doesn't have the money to do the 3-day class. They can just
spray gun.
Huh?
This is a spray gun.
Yeah. So But that's just a 2-day class as well, and that's just, we have a limited, we don't ask that you bring any projects with you for the advanced class or the beginners class. We have all the projects that you'll need, so all you have to do is kinda show up for those classes, and, we have, like, a limited amount of stencils that packs, kind of like a starter kit that we think kind of easier to do and not super
There are a
advanced.
lot of stencils in that.
There is. So, I think there's about 6 patterns I think that I picked out for the beginners class that you can do. Tattered flag, I think, like, maybe, Vietnam, fat cam. I mean, there's still some good stuff in there, but, it's not really hard to do. It's kind of a quicker pattern to kinda lay down because 'cause you've only got the 2 days to do it. So, but the beginners class, we expect, nobody's like, you don't really know what's going on. You just kinda heard about Cerakote. You're maybe thinking about getting into it,
There's a
am I
lot
gonna
of,
am
there's
I
a
gonna
lot of
wanna
information
Yeah,
going
there
on.
is, do I wanna spend all this money before I go and kinda invest all this money into this, So I think is the class 1,500 WIT for the 2-day class? Yeah, $1,500, I think. I know him, but I'm talking about the 2-day class.
Go on, Wit.
But I believe that's what it is. I could be wrong, but I believe the 2-day classes are 1,500 apiece, and then the turnkey 3-day class was 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah.
But
Well worth it. Bring your walking shoes and a notepad. I mean, there's a lot of information.
there
But
is.
but the book you guys give out, I really
There's
haven't thumbed through that because I
Yeah.
haven't had time yet.
There's tons of stuff, and I mean, go through that thing,
Oh, I will
And once
definitely.
you do, and if you've run into something you have a question on, you're like, hey, we might not have covered that in class or something, and you have a question, call me.
I'll wait
We'll
for your
go.
Friday podcast.
Yeah,
Hey,
absolutely. Call in.
what's
We
up,
love it.
Andrew?
I try to call people in, that came to training, every
Sure.
once in a while. I want to. Okay. Oh, it's called the Essential class online for it's basically our big beginners class, the Essential, and both of the 2-day classes are 1,500. But I do like to call people like once you kind of get up and going, maybe I'll
How's it
call
going?
you and have you call in and just check in on how's the shop going,
Sure.
are you busy, just ask you some little questions, how's stuff going for you. I like doing that,
I pretty much got my essentials right now. It's going to take me a little bit to get going, but I mean, I'm ready to spray now. I
Oh,
mean,
you are.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think I could put out a decent enough product.
You can.
Yeah.
You can. I mean, if you can go back home, and I know you can replicate that. And if you can replicate that, there's really not much you almost really can't do.
On this, what I learned here will go a long ways. I mean,
Yeah.
I was pretty unsure myself there for a while. Just not making sure I did it right.
Yeah.
And,
Well, you
there's
don't want to send out something bad and then get a
Yeah.
bad name from the beginning.
Absolutely. I mean, there was some stuff I did that it looked really great. I mean,
Right.
whether it was right or wrong, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they're my personal guns, so it doesn't matter. I'll just
Yeah.
spray them off and I'll have a project. But
Yeah.
good place a lot of good knowledge. I mean, I'll go home with it and it'll go a long ways.
Yeah. We tell everybody, if you come, bring your kids, bring your wife. Branson's a fun town to hang out in, You get to stay and look at us all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, next time I come down, I'd love to bring my wife. She wanted to come down, just didn't work out that way. So
Right.
I told her that you guys are a pretty good bunch of people, most of you anyway.
Yeah.
But she'd have had a good time.
Some of us are rowdy.
Yeah, that's all right.
John can't be quiet.
Yeah.
But no, it's good and it's fun, and we just hope that everybody that comes here is successful in the business, and we try to help everybody out as best we can.
You'll figure out whether it's for you or not, for sure.
Oh yeah,
I
and
mean-
that's really what the 2-day class is here for. That the beginners course. It's just to know is this something I want to get into? Is this something I really want to dedicate? Because it once you get into it,
I would suggest if you're not sure, definitely come to the class before you
Yeah.
make an investment in tools and
absolutely
gear because
that's a lot of
you
money.
can get into a lot of money.
You
And,
can,
if you're going to do it for a living or at least a supplemental,
yeah.
go for it. But if you're unsure, definitely come down here, try it out. Say, yeah, this ain't for me, or it is, because
Yeah.
either that or just send me all the money that you want to spend on equipment and I'll buy some. But
There you go.
it's up to you.
Hey, we found shops like that. We was one in Texas that I think he kind of got into it. What didn't really pan out the way he thought it was. We went down there and bought him out and
Perfect.
brought all his equipment back down here. I mean, I don't wish that for anybody that comes to our training. I don't, but I mean, it's a good way to find equipment if you're ever looking for it. I mean, it happens, kind of keep your eye out and you can always upgrade.
Well, it's a fairly decent investment to get started.
It is. I mean,
to get the right equipment, the compressor and this and that and all that good stuff. So you're spraying a good product. And I mean, I've got decent stuff. There's some things that I need to pick up, but I mean, it's nothing I can't get. So.
I mean, by all means, we're more than what any regular Cerakote shop would need, just because if we do our training and everything else. But I mean, we got to talking the other day. This is it's close to a $500,000 shop.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I mean, I'm not trying to say it to like brag or whatever, but I mean, there's some money that's gotten put into it to just get to the point. And I mean, I'm not saying, it's not going to cost on the average person to go out $500,000.
Just this little room we're sitting in.
I did all this.
Yeah, no, it looks really good.
Yeah, that's our table rock pattern. We cut that out with the laser.
Stuck
it on there.
I got it. Yeah.
Right
on.
This is our Table Rock podcast studio. That's what we do this with.
It's nice. It's really nice. You've done some good work.
Yeah. And that's what I mean, and that's why the reason I like working here. John and Laura, they don't question me. They don't stand over me and say, "Hey, do it this way." They're just like, "Andrew, we know you can do whatever." They're like, "Just make it look good." I made this table. It's got all of the original people who worked here. We all lasered our names into the wood, and then
I never even noticed that.
Yeah. Got our logo in the middle.
We go to heck.
Did all that with the laser.
Oh, it looks good.
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of fun here. We really do. It's fun. So I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that you can do with this business. I mean, not necessarily like the
Get all now.
Yeah. That's Whitmore down there. I think I'm There's Christy at the top. There's my sister used to work here. Bailey at the end. Not here no more. And I think I might be under. I know I'm not even.
You're
really,
under the table.
Yeah, no. I think I'm under the gun, maybe.
Yeah,
I think. I don't remember where I signed it. Or I don't remember. Oh, I'm right there.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yep.
And then Christy's below me. And then John signed his as Supreme Commander.
John's a good dude.
Oh yeah. He got sick last week with COVID. Came in, I think it was Monday, and man, he just looked like hell frozen up.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you need to go home.
I got here Saturday and I came in Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't look all that great.
No.
He said he just got over COVID, and I said, why don't you stay over there? I don't need to get sick and try to ride home.
No, that would be terrible.
Yeah.
Like, can I put this? I just put this on the back of your U-Haul.
I'll just leave my bike here, and you guys can mail me home.
Yeah, we'll ship you with. We'll just do some freight shipping.
Yeah.
But all right, guys. Well, that's if that's it for questioning, we're gonna get out of here and get back there. Are we good, Whit? All right. Well, hey guys, I appreciate everybody kind of tuning in and keeping up with us. I appreciate it. Thanks, Tom, for coming in here and doing this with me.
Thank you.
We wish you the best of luck.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
No, it's not. It's just like we are, just sitting in the back, just kind of talking. And I like to do this with people that come to training.
Sure.
It kind of gets your name out there. If somebody's looking for you, you can come back into the comment section when you figure out your name for your business.
When I get it all figured out, I'll definitely come in and
we'll do a call in and let us know, kind of what you're going for.
Absolutely.
But
I need to get home and get a little bit more, a little more set up to be able to accept things like
Absolutely.
that. I think we got something. So
oh yeah, you're gonna do great.
I appreciate the time. Everybody's been great.
All right. Well, hey guys, we appreciate your time and thanks for watching. Thanks.